Hi and welcome to the All Things ITSM Global Podcast. We're coming to you from ITSM 15 in London. I'm Kirsty McGowan, I'm here with James Finister.
Hello.
Simone Moore.
Hi.
And it's our pleasure to be chatting with Matt Hoey today,
Hello.
who is the SIG chair for the transition.
That's correct,
Special
yes,
Interest
I'm indeed,
Group.
yeah.
Yes. Welcome, Matt.
Thank you very much, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
So Matt, there's a lot of special interest groups, of course, amongst so many topics. Transition's a pretty big one.
It is, and it's one of the longest running SIGs.
Wow,
that
how
we've
long
got.
has it been going?
It's long before my time, so probably a good 13 or so years, I believe.
Wow.
But it's great, you mentioned about all the different ones. We're just starting up new ones with the SIAM one, and continuous service improvements back in topic again, but transition seems to be a constant one, so we're still going.
So what's been the biggest themes lately that have come out of transition?
The biggest things lately is mainly around Agile and the DevOps. How do we cope with those, with the traditional ITIL processes that everyone's used to? How do we factor those in and do these automated testings and get releases several times a day, like the likes of Facebook and Amazon? So it's those kind of challenges that the group are exploring at the moment. Because
traditionally, as we all know, that if we make the dev teams more agile, but ops haven't quite come up to that stage. So is this group also discussing how we're going to bring ops into that one environment so they can cope with what's coming? Absolutely, because you're right. If one side of the hand is doing this and the other side isn't, it's not going to align, and we're going to have problems firing things boom, boom, boom into production. Ops are not coming along on that, then that needs addressing, because we're not going to get the benefits. Devifying. Devifying? Devifying.
That's a new word.
That's a new
like
word. That's great.
So Matt, can you first of all define devifying?
No. Give me a while and I'll come up with a definition.
I'll give you a while. I'm a consultant, I'll sell you one in a minute. One of the great things about the UK SIGs particularly has been the emphasis on actually producing usable artefacts out of it. Yes. So what sort of things have you got coming along for us at the moment? Well,
traditionally we've been very much a white paper based SIG, but we're now adapting. We're trying to take a new focus to the output we produce, so we're trying to do more, people want bite-sized topics rather than lengthy white papers that takes a while to read, and they also I won't deny they take us a long time to produce. We need to be a bit more agile.
Yes.
And produce topics a bit more often. So by the time you write white paper, it's the topic's moved on a bit. So we're being a bit more in the now, and we're trying to do a bit more blog posts. We're trying to get a bit more audio stuff out there. So we're looking at the moment about release management, because that's always a hot topic for people, particularly if you want to incorporate the agile perspective on things. And automated testing, there's big questions about how do you actually do that within an organisation that's traditionally service management based and has been using ITIL or other best practice. So that's where the SIG's going at the moment.
So that raises another question, because you can't talk about testing without talking to the testing community. You can't talk about agile without talking to the agile community.
Absolutely.
Are you successfully making alliances and collaborations into these other communities?
In terms of the SIG, or
in terms of the SIG?
Yeah, we are. I mean, the SIGs operate quite closely together. We're very much looking toward doing another thing they produce is we do SIG days, so that's free member events that people can turn up, and we sometimes get the odd notable speaker, James, coming along, which is always good.
And we're talking about nothing at all to do with the subject.
And we are finding very much that we're integrating with each other a lot more these days. As the topics seem to collide, and it's not just about transition, it's about service level management at the same time, and about operations as we've talked. So yes, I think you'll find more of that happening, of the SIG groups working together and producing kind of combined content.
Yeah, I mean it's very much all the pieces of the puzzle have to join together.
Absolutely.
You can't do one without input from everyone else.
I kind of always imagined that transition was that point where everything does come together, because that's where all those ideas and thoughts and decisions start to have a life shape to them. So I would have almost thought it was a pivot for the other areas, because it's going to be make or break time, isn't it?
Absolutely. That's probably one of the reasons why the transition SIGs stood the test of time, for that very reason.
So just a little bit of background about the SIG too. So do you meet in different areas of the country, or
We do.
always in the same place?
We do.
Or?
I mean, we have a working party, and I meet with them over the phone once a month. That's where we work on our content and plan the next day. So we will then do days which are free member events.
Right.
Some of the chaps run masterclass sessions as well for the ITSMF.
Yep.
But yes, we've been to London, we've been to Nottingham this year.
Right.
We're hoping to do something on Agile release management early next year. So yeah, we
so
do try and get around the country. Obviously, it's very geographical based where the working party members are, but we do our best to include everybody.
No, that's great. So it is there. So because you've got obviously membership spread over the entire country, so
and you're
be able to
using
get to them and provide the services.
Absolutely.
And you're using the blogs and those other things as those linking points between the events themselves.
Because there's a long time between the events. They obviously take a lot of preparation, and we're all volunteers, so we can do as much as we can, as well as doing the day job that pays the bills. But everybody who's in there and commits to it, they love doing it, and it's a great networking opportunity as well.
It's an interesting question, because ITSMF is volunteer, and so how does your organisation, for example, look to your involvement as a chair and running these events?
Yes, so it's the benefit of being the chair is you go there and you get a lot out of the day from whatever topic we're talking about. Some of the things that the group have talked about, I probably wouldn't have gone along. I wouldn't have, I wouldn't have asked to go along to that, because obviously you choose the days you need to go to from your company. But I've been there, and I've loved the content that's been there. Stuff that I wouldn't have gone to see has been brilliant, because I've been involved with it.
And therefore your company's
therefore
benefit.
for my company's benefit, I'm getting to go along as well.
Yeah.
So it's great for me.
Do you think one of the issues with the ITSMF is a lot of people only see the tip of the iceberg? They don't realise that so many of these activities are taking place.
I think you're absolutely right there, James.
Yeah. They see the conference and they think that's what you do.
Yeah.
You have an annual conference and that's what I get for my membership. But there is, and when you hear about your SIG and all the other SIGs that are going on, there's so much more that people can tap into, and your blogs and your white papers and your recordings, all that sort of stuff that members can tap into that, possibly they don't realise is there.
No, and they're very welcome to join the SIG as well. I did a quick survey on the SIG members this year, asked them a few questions, and one of them was, what's the best bit about being involved in the SIG? And it was networking. Working with like-minded professionals, and people get a lot out of it. We ask them to produce stuff for us, but they get a lot out of it in return. Yeah,
so membership at the SIG is just part and parcel of your ITSMF membership. You don't have to pay an extra fee to join a SIG. It's just a
if you fancy getting your hands on, you're welcome to join us.
And I think one of the key things is you get back what you put in. And I think involvement with the SIGs is visible.
Yes,
absolutely.
You get something useful for your own organisation, because obviously you can take the thought leadership back into that organisation. And certainly in terms of your profile, it's a really good way to get known by people who, dare I say it, I think about recruiting new people to take you on the next career step.
Absolutely.
It's a good way of building confidence there, that actually what I think about the subject is worth listening to.
There's one thing I used to enjoy doing with my teams was using SIG events as one way of reward and recognition for my staff. So it wasn't necessarily me that would go along. You know, of course I'm referring to when I was in Australia. But I just found that a really good thing to try and encourage the other IT managers, that this learning is not just for you guys, it's about building the capability of your own teams. So I think it's a great way for training.
Yes, it is. I mean, you're getting training for free, basically.
Exactly.
All included in the membership.
It's included in that membership, rather than going out and paying pretty substantial fees to go to a day's training. You can learn a lot about transition and change management and DevOps and whatever from going to your
And I think if we could encourage other staff to be going, that they then get the benefit and see this wider world of IT service management that they probably don't realise exists.
And that wider world's quite important. Something I want to ask you about, Matt, is who are the organisations who are supporting the SIG? What type of organisations have got SIG members?
All sorts, from, we've got, I'm in a financial services company, through to consultants who obviously don't get paid when they come along to these things, which is very good of them, through to people in academic institutions. It's a real wide range. Anybody who's doing transition, and having that scope of that wide breadth of organisations, you get some real good ideas that you haven't thought of, and they're doing that, and you think, well, actually, we could mould that and use that here.
Yes.
So that networking thing is a very valuable aspect of it.
You learn so much more from listening to people who are actually doing it than from reading a book or listening to a trainer tell you theory. I mean, you're actually listening to people who are on the coal face and telling you, I tried this, it was a total disaster, I tried this and it worked. You're actually getting the real stories that can help you make those informed decisions on what you're going to do next.
People love the war stories.
They love
They
stories.
absolutely love them.
Yeah.
So that's what we do get practitioners and we've had some real good speakers there.
I think that's
people have
something
gone away with a lot.
Yeah. Something we tend to miss at these events is you hear a lot of success stories when you go to presentations. The failures are even more valuable often than the successes.
I think people want to know whether they're in a pothole or a Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
And then depending on which kind of level they're at, what can I do about it? So we do learn a lot from those kinds of stories.
And I think it's that relative position as well. When you find out that everybody else in the same situation as you are, it doesn't seem half as bad, does
That's
it?
right.
You don't feel so alone.
And hearing about somebody making the same mistakes that you've made just makes you feel
Absolutely.
It does.
absolutely better.
Not as much of an idiot as I thought it was. Yeah. Very good. Well, thanks a lot for your time today, Matt. It's been a pleasure chatting with you. I hope you continue to do the great work that you're doing in the SIG.
Thank you very much, and thanks for having me on.
Thank you.
Thanks.